Yo, what's going on? This is the Then Everything After podcast with your boy A-Max.
Sasha Chantel.
And Franklin, aka the King of Trainers. How we doing, guys?
Hey guys.
What's good?
All is good over here.
We have a lot to talk about. We have a
As
lot
always.
to talk about.
Always.
And the thing is, it's like every time we have a conversation and we go away, just in between that 1 week, it's like the
avalanche.
The issues just exponentially grow each time.
Exactly.
Yeah, to discuss. It's an interesting time to be alive. And I feel like, okay, let's just jump straight into the subject matter. So
let's go.
I'm sure you're both aware of what's been going on in the media, with obviously the protests going on, and then there's been obviously the backlash from racist individuals deciding that they kind of want to have their say and they want to take to the streets. And now we have Tommy Robinson coming out of the woodworks, saying a lot of the stuff that he's saying, and even down to the incident in Coventry that happened yesterday.
Yeah, that was mad.
So I feel like we've got a lot to touch on, but I guess the topic really is, okay, amidst this movement for change, with racism in front of us, how do we feel about it? And what do we do about it that is productive? Who wants to go first?
Oh, Sam.
I knew that dropped me in the deep end. Okay, let's get straight to it. Okay, so first of all, I don't condone anything that Tommy Robinson said. I think he's disgusting. I don't even want to acknowledge him. Do you get what I mean? I think it's a shame that these protests regarding Black Lives Matter has now made some people turn into a race war. Do you get what I mean?
Yep.
I was speaking to my friend about this, and he said, to be honest, it always has been a race war. It's been Black people have always been suppressed. Do you get what I mean? So that's the race war we're uprising from. But what we have to point out is not black versus white. It's us versus racist. You know what I mean? It's all of us versus racist. You either stand with us against racism or you don't stand with us at all. You get
exactly that.
And
exactly.
If someone agrees with racism, they can't stand with us. So that's kind of to clear that up. Also, I feel that what's going on now in terms of the way it's being turned from what he's saying that there needs to be a march. I think is it this weekend? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, this weekend.
It's just making people angry because they're not coming to be like, oh, we're coming to protect our statues and we're going to be safely, they're coming to throw, like, I think you shared a video of two black men, unfortunately, being attacked, by a mob, a big mob, until the police came, bottles thrown at them and stuff, a mob. And then what was a bit crazy is after that, in that same video, these black boys got arrested, but maybe they had to get arrested for them to be safe. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be because of safety.
Yeah,
I can't really.
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, let me clarify this. So, there's been some really interesting things that have come out of this, because I was big mad when I saw that, and I posted it on Facebook. But I posted it to tell people, look, this and for many reasons is why we are pushing forward for change, because stuff like this cannot continue. Here is another example. It is not isolated. We deal with this every single day. It happens hundreds, maybe 1,000 times a day in different places from the UK to across the globe. We have this issue. Yeah. So we are saying categorically that we are pushing for change. So it was funny because when I posted that, obviously you get the normal kind of reaction. You get lots of people who become very angry about the fact that that's happened.
Yeah.
Then you get the people who try to defend the reasons for it happening.
Yeah.
Then you get the people who try to spread false propaganda and false information, and they pop up. So I saw a lot of that. But then what also happens is, because of that awareness, there was a gentleman who has direct contact with the head of marketing for Coventry. And he sent an email to them and he screenshotted it and posted it in the comments. And they got back to him sharp and said that they are escalating it and they have got the police involved. And because of the screenshots that someone took of the people's faces in the comments, their faces are now given to the police. So it's not, you know, they can't defend and say they weren't there, etc., etc. Their faces there clear as day.
Yeah.
And so those people, as a result, will be punished. Yeah, they are going to get banned from being associated with that club, because I don't think that's good for that club's PR, or any football club or any sports club. No club wants that reputation. So,
Of course.
so the interesting thing that it told me about this is social media. We don't stay silent. We must talk.
Indeed.
Yeah, at all times. If we see something, we must raise it.
Indeed.
Yeah, and we don't need to get mad and start like, because I see a lot of that where, you know, people are justifiably angry, but the conversation shifts, and the conversation becomes us versus them, and that is not the dialogue. There is racist people, and there is the rest of us.
That's right.
Yeah, and all we're saying is we don't like racist people.
That's it.
And what racist people stand for, and racist people are happy to keep everyone in the dark ages, and we're trying to step out of that.
Yeah. No, wow, that's big facts. So just to clarify, was that video an old video?
No, that was yesterday.
That's yesterday, but it's a football.
Yeah.
But what football was playing yesterday?
Coventry supporters were out on the street. I don't know that there was a game or anything like that.
Oh,
I just know that basically they were out on the street. The Black Lives Matter protesters had previously gone past that patch. So there's video footage of them surrounding the statue and saying burn all the placards and stuff, talking about Black Lives Matter and, you know, other horrible things being shouted and stated in the background and across the videos. Then there was another video showing a standoff between them and the police. Then later on that same day, they came into contact with these two black boys, and they basically chased them down to obviously that space that you saw them in.
Yeah.
And obviously they surrounded them. They had bottles. They were throwing stuff at them. They were hurling racial abuse. One of them had what was either a pole or a knife in their hand. And a lot of people tried to spin the story and say that the reason why that happened was because the black boys
had knives
and had stabbed somebody, which is a lie, because Coventry newspaper had reported the actual truth of the actual situation. It's in their main newspaper. So it kind of debunks the lies being told to spin the narrative to try and make racism okay. Oh, well, in this context, it's okay because they're thugs, which is what they would like. But the bottom line is the people harassing those kids were the thugs.
That's right.
The people causing public problems were the thugs. And the boys that got arrested, I feel it was unjust, because the police didn't need to cuff them to do that. They could have just escorted them away to make sure they were safe. So I'm not quite sure about why they put them in handcuffs, but the bottom line is the boys are alive to tell their stories.
Exactly. And that's the important part. What I've always noticed, though, is how cowardly these people are. If it was literally those two against two others, it'd be one thing. But they always carry themselves in this very animalistic fashion where you've got to come like a pack of wolves attacking people. And it brings me back to the images of people being lynched and so forth, where there's a pack of them and one or two people. And then they're making an excuse as to why it's okay to do that. It's never okay to be animalistic as a human being. And it's very pathetic to actually embrace that caricature. So if they want to embrace that, you're foolish for embracing that. But I applaud you. Well done. We expect you to act that way. And it's important that we don't act that way with you. And that's why I say do not conduct yourself in that fashion, because that's how they behave. That's not how we need to behave. So
yeah, it's just a shame that, you know, when we quote unquote do looting and rioting, we're seen in a completely different light. Do you get what I mean? Because what this video that you shared represented a mob that was threatening the lives of two black men, which takes us back, like you said, to slavery, which is racist, and they was hurling racist abuse, and it needs to be called for what it is. I'm sure that, number one, I guess the good thing is they didn't put it on TV, or the bad thing is they didn't put it on TV, because technically, if they put it on TV, that would have caused another narrative. And I guess the bad thing is that they should have actually exposed it and let people know that that's what was happening. So I mean, with that said, I think it's important that we try to find the solutions. So my thing is this: one of my friends, he said that The reason why we're in these different and give me a second. I'm gonna explain what I'm saying. The reason why in this country we as black people, quote unquote, we have no power, yeah, is because we don't come as a unified force. Yeah,
that's right.
There's, I think, please forgive me if I'm quoting, misquoting. Anyone who's listening can correct me. There's about 9 million black people in the UK. Yeah, there's about 2 million black people in London. Yeah, when we have voting, they advertise to us. We don't tell them what to do. So hear this: when Jewish people, they come together as Jewish people. So you couldn't tell me if a Jewish person comes from Israel, if they come from the States, if they come from such and such. They come together as Jewish people. Number one, they break us up into sections. We should come in as black people, not as Jamaicans, as Africans and stuff. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So they try to break us up.
That feeds it.
Yeah. So they break us up. That's number one. So when it comes to organization, we haven't got one organization that all of us pay into. Yeah. So let's take an example. Every single mayoral election or general election, you have big business organizations that put funding into these things.
That's right.
They do not put funding for no reason. They put funding because they know they want to press their agendas. Do you get what I mean? The Jewish people, they all come with their money. They put funding into the mayor, whatever mayor they want. They push their agenda. The Asian people, they get all their money together. They fund. They push their agenda. Black people, in my opinion, we need to start pushing our agendas. So listen to this. And I was speaking to a friend about this. Shout out Dean. He said, if we had, say, out of the 9 million people, I don't know what's 10% is what 9 million is 900,000. So let's say 6 or 7%. That's about 500,000. Say 500,000 black people. Yeah. And let's just say black people. I'm not trying to segregate any other race, but let's just say black people. If 500,000 of which is about 6 or 7% of our national population in the UK, put £1 a month into one organization that fights for the rights of black people, you know, our voting rights, our policing rights, our civil rights, and actually said, you know what, every time there's an election, we need to say to you, you don't tell us what to do. So we say, look, we want to support what you do. Here's £500,000, which is 1 month's registration fee. It's £1 a month. I'm talking about £1 a month. Any human being can afford £1 a month.
That's right.
In the UK.
Yep.
So we then go to Sadiq, the mayor. We go to Boris, whoever it is, and we say, here is our black agenda. You need to stop messing with our children when it comes to policing. You need to give us the same respect as our counterparts. You need to treat us with respect. Here is our black agenda. For our black agenda, we will donate £500,000 to the Labour Party or whatever party. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
That's right.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
That's exactly what the businesses are doing as to how they're able to thrive in these certain times. You know, the finance people donate money. The Asian people donate money. The Jewish people donate money. We do not have a unified agenda. And that's where we go wrong.
See, this is important and it's powerful, but we as people are very good at one thing. We are very good at talking.
Exactly.
We talk a lot. We're good at talking the talk very well, but when it comes to implementing the talk, no one's doing it, because that's a very good idea. But the fact is, who's going to actually do it? Set that up and then say, right, put your pound in everybody, because no one does. And just to go back a bit and digress a bit, it's similar to how women of color, we carry on about black hair shops and like being owned by Asian owners and so forth, and we go into shops and they're racist towards us, and you know, it's very uncomfortable shopping for our own products, right? And then we say, okay, we've got to have more black owned hair shops, but no one ain't opening them, and when they do, no one shops in the black owned hair shops, and then they shut down.
So
if we're going to do it, we've got to do it properly and stick to it.
Go
100%. I was going to say, that is, I remember I've been having this conversation about our kind of like economics within the black community. And a lot of it is to do with like certain elements, like things like supply chains for businesses where multiple businesses that are of the same category are going via the same suppliers to get, basically, to have better buying power. Because like that's one of the issues. It's also because in order to get someone to do what we're discussing, you have to employ someone to do that on a full-time basis. That has to be their job. Do you get what I mean? So maybe the reason why we don't get there is because in the community, we have a habit of looking to the bigger picture without looking at what's doable in the here and now. So then everyone gets lost and we end up going around in circles having the same conversation because we're not attacking the problem. So, like Will Smith has said in his speech, brick by brick.
Yeah. So can I just kind of digress a little bit? But it's about the same subject.
Yeah.
So in the creative field, like you guys may know, on my King of Trainers page, every Monday I do a live where people can talk about the experiences of racism and systematic oppression. And
I saw that.
Yeah. On my live. So through that, I can't reveal the actual idea that we have yet because it's not we're just formulating it. But what I'm doing is I'm going to take an action, and I'm going to formulate something that everyone can come together on, and then fight a lot of these companies and brands that are racist to us and hold us in these different things. I think it's important that I say that because sometimes we need to look at ourselves. Like so when I was setting up this live, the lives came out of kind of frustration and then turned into like a regular thing. So I'm going to be doing it every Monday for June. But then I looked at myself and I said, you know, in the sneaker scene in the UK, I'm in a relatively position of authority. So I need to make sure that I lead by example. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So like what you say, Sash, in terms of hair shops and stuff like that. Like I in my building, there's a lady, an Asian lady, and she's so nice lady, such a nice lady, and she has a hair business. She's willing to help other black people. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, we need to say, okay, each one of us, what do we buy the most? The reason why I got into the sneaker scene is I realized I was spending so much money on sneakers. So I thought to myself, like, how can I become an authority in a way that I'm, you know, not to get stuff for free, that wasn't even a goal, but to kind of influence what I love. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So we need to start looking at the things that we love, the areas that we love, and start to put the building blocks in ourselves. Do you get what I mean? So that we can then affect change. That's why I say that writing for black people is only good if there's an agenda. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Yeah. We need to, if there's protesting, there needs to be an agenda. Because what I've seen with the protests is a lot of people are hijacking it for different agendas. And
that's right.
By hijacking it for different agendas, we're not actually getting anything done. So all we're doing is protesting. Okay, it's highlighting the oppression, which is amazing. Yeah. But what after this, what is our agenda? Because if, for example, after the end of June, there's no more things, and nothing happens, then it's all pointless. This is a marathon, not a sprint. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely that. I feel that, you know, it is definitely that. It's the whole part of it being a marathon, not a sprint. I feel like these protests are amazing, and I respect everyone who's out there and they are protesting, but I am a bit concerned that obviously everyone has free time because of COVID happening and the fact they were working from home or on furlough, whatever. And when they go back to work again, it's going to all die down and be like another incident, another thing that happened, until the next person dies, and then we'll go out and protest again. And there has to be something that happens. There needs to be an agenda, as you mentioned, because otherwise we're going to continue going in a circle forever and ever and ever and ever. And it makes me worried about, you know, having children, you know, and bringing a child into this world, because it's so we're repeating ourselves. You know, I saw these things when I was a child, and now I'm a big grown 35-year-old woman, and nothing's really changed.
That's the thing.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's we need to get organized. We need to get organized. As black people, we should also remember that no one is coming to save us. No one is coming to give us the handout. They're not going to come and make this easy for us. Do you get what I mean? You've seen what's happening to the protests. All of a sudden, it's become, Tommy Robinson, and they're coming to come and get us. And let's not.
So attention seeking, though.
Let's not get drawn out. let us see.
But that's also.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, but that's also a thing. People need to be aware that the reason this would be, and someone brought this to my attention. A relative actually brought this to my attention. Mm-hmm. She actually pointed out that the police aren't saying anything about this being the case, and politicians aren't saying anything about this being the case. Effectively saying that they're okay with it. So if they're okay with it, and we're seen to be creating interference by trying to fix our issue, and then they come in, and then there's lots of sound bites and imagery showing us being violent and fighting and people getting hurt and all that kind of stuff, it then lends credibility to this narrative that has always been a tried and tested method to suppress us for decades. Yeah, there's always that justification. So that is the issue that I see, is that we are justifying something that we shouldn't be. We should not give them that justification.
That's right.
We should just stick to what we are doing, and like you said, have an agenda to follow through beyond this. Yeah, because there has to be stages to this. It can't end on protest.
No.
Protest is a means to get people to listen. But if you ain't got a message to... Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Simon, do you know what? It's just made me think about the fact, though. But the fact of the matter is, Fab, by you doing what you're doing, right, and open up your platform to have this conversation, in a sense, you know, it puts at risk you and what you're building up. And it's like when you stand for something in that way and you put yourself on the line, you know, you're no different to, in my opinion, I'm sorry, because he used his platform. Yeah, he used what he had. And repercussions of that were very strong. And I'm not saying it's going to happen to you, by no means, but it takes a sense of bravery to stand for something and to speak 100%. Out. And I think so many of us are so comfortable and shouting off the rooftops, but when it comes to putting what we have on the line, we're too scared to do that. And that's why we keep going around in one big circle. So there needs to be more bravery, I guess, in people who have a platform to use it in this way.
And the thing I've realized is, you know, and thank you so much for that, sir. I really do appreciate that. The thing I've realized is this: in my industry, unfortunately, a lot of people are scared because of the income and opportunities. What a lot of people don't know about me is I get income from a completely different place. Yeah, so I'm not relying on the footwear industry and scene to pay me. Do you get what I mean? I've probably been cancelled in the sneaker scene 100 times because of the stuff I say about brands. You see what I'm trying to say? But when you look at this UK, who in terms of a black man, who's as big as me? Do you see what I'm trying to say? So the brands not working with me or choosing to be like, oh, we don't want to work with him, what are they saying about themselves?
Exactly. You put him in a corner there.
You see what I'm saying? What are they saying about themselves? And that's what it is. I've done everything correctly, but it's just I speak my mind and I speak on what's wrong. Not on what I don't like. I speak on what's wrong. That's the difference. You see what I'm trying to say? I don't bully brands. I've been bullied before by brand executives, but I don't bully brands. I speak on what I feel. I don't think that's right. And sometimes the brands want you to be a yes sir, no sir. And this is what happens in society. A lot of people have been in their workplaces and they've suffered systematic racism. They've suffered prejudice. They've suffered employment injustice. But because of the fact that they feel they're going to lose their income and they
don't say anything.
They don't say nothing. That is different for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I've been at the bottom, and I've been like, yo, and I built this up. You got to have seen it. It's been in front of your faces. I built this up
exactly.
To the point where
100%.
Yeah, to the point where I'm so unafraid. It scares me. Do you get what I mean? Like, if you're saying I'm so unafraid of things. I'm like, Frank, sometimes I'm like, Frank, you need to take it easier there. Because I don't business. Do you see what I'm trying to say? But I don't use me being unafraid to do anything nasty and horrid to these people. I fight for my people fairly. I try to speak the truth as much as possible. Yeah. And I have a clean heart. Do you get what I mean? Ever since you guys have known me, I've always been giving. So if a brand then says to me, oh, we don't want to work with you or whatever, and they haven't publicly said it, I have heard rumors that people from Nike don't want to work with me or whatever and stuff like that. I don't care. I make more money than all these executives at Nike, and they can listen to this. I don't business. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't chat to me. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel that we need to get past fear. Fear is probably the number one thing holding us back. I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about people who have gone through certain things.
That's right.
You know, we need to get past that. Like, the minute we can speak freely, that's why, if you notice, true freedom fighters are fearless, and they put their lives, they put their lives on the line, and they speak freely. Do you get what I mean? You know, to the point that people are like, whoa, like, you know, that's why they become a threat. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
When you can speak freely to the point, like, like, nothing matters. Do you know what I'm saying? At that point, you become a threat. Do you know what I mean? Look at all of, unfortunately, look at all our black heroes who have been assassinated.
Yeah.
They were able to speak so freely and without fear that they became, oh, well, no, he's not scared. He's not scared of us. Hold on. Like, you know, the American facility, hold on. Like, he's not scared of us. He's not scared to speak about us. He's not scared to make action against us. He's a threat now. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you know, and I think my tactic is not to demonize brands. It's not to demonize people or white people. That's never been my thing. I'm not trying to say it's a white problem. I'm trying to say that we need to systematically change this completely. Okay, so time is running out. So we need to change this completely. You get what I mean? And by changing it completely, we are then putting ourselves in a fair stead with everyone else.
Do you know what? Honestly, that's powerful right there, because I feel like that is the overall message of this. We can all stand and we can all protest. We can all put up our black squares. We can put up our quotes. But if we don't actually believe what we're saying and stand by it, then there's no point.
It's too easy.
There ain't no point. There is none.
Do you get what I mean? And I'm just, you know, I'm so blessed. You know, even though I'm tired and I've got a lot on my shoulders, I feel more blessed now than I've ever felt in my life. You know, because God has given me the opportunity and the platform to do what I'm doing. So I'm saying, it's never been about me. So it's like, I feel that, wow, like, I feel powerful right now. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I feel like, wow, like, thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity to allow people to have their voices. You know, I mean, we have hundreds of people all over the world come tuning in and giving their voices of oppression. And you start to think to yourself, wow, the world is a crazy place. Do you get what I mean? Yep. And all we really need is a voice. Through the history of enslavement and prejudice and things like that, all we've needed is a voice. So if any brands or anyone doesn't want to speak, doesn't want to work with me because I have a voice, I'm giving other people a voice, then they're not the brands that I need to be working with. It's simple as that.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not. Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Sam, any final thoughts on that?
I'm speechless. You're taking the words out of my mouth.
I've been to church and had a sermon.
I 100% agree with you, Fabs. In fact, I agree with both of you. I agree with everything that's been said today. I don't think I can add to anything that's been said other than anything we're going to do, we need to say it with our chests.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's all about integrity.
All the time.
Constant integrity, consistent integrity. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing more to be said. I can't say anything more to that. Like, we just move forward, we build, we bring in those that want to build. Those that don't want to build, they can watch. They might change their mind later on down the line. We just keep moving. That's it.
And just to round up, it's really important. I've been seeing Swiss World. Obviously, you spoke about Swiss last time.
Yes.
Did our podcast. He's doing the whole Black Pound thing. Everyone's sharing it and getting all excited. Indeed. It's really important that we then just don't get excited and then it fades away, that we actually do this. We're going to support the thing. Support the thing.
You know,
100%.
Yeah, we need to.
And not make it into some kind of fad, because that's why we go wrong. That's why we always go wrong. We fall off the wagon.
No.
We need to get on it.
We need to be consistent.
The message has to be consistent.
Yeah, we can't falter. And I'm preparing myself for a marathon right now. I'm getting myself fit. I'm even buying a bike because I know it's going to get heavier for me. Do you know what I'm saying? For us.
Yeah. I'm starting my fitness again tomorrow, do my workout and stuff.
Because I feel that the fight is really going to start to happen now. And we need to be fit mentally. We need to be fit physically. We need to be fit spiritually to be able to handle what's going to happen. Because the world is changing.
That's right.
We need to be prepared for the change.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what you said, I think quite a few podcasts before, where you said people learning to stop, do nothing, pause. There needs to be a lot of that as well, because to be strong, bless you, to be strong, you need to make sure that you are right in terms of you as a person spiritually.
Yeah, mind, body, and spirit needs to be aligned.
So therefore, taking that moment to breathe and to pause is, I would say, equally as important as being fit physically, being fit financially, mentally. We also spiritually need to make sure we stay fit, because we're going to be tested a lot in these coming weeks, months, years,
and beyond that. Exactly.
And beyond.
Indeed.
We have to be willing to win the race, doing it the long way. And stop thinking that it's going to happen quickly. It's not going to happen quick. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a consistent, constant thing.
Indeed. Yeah, indeed. No, thank you so much, man. That was. Thank you.
Jeez.
All right. Well. I know that's all we've got time for. So I'm just going to close out by saying thank you for watching this. Let's keep this conversation going. Let's discuss this in the comments. In regards to the Black Pound thing with Swiss, if there are any links or anything like that, we'll make sure we get that in the comments as well.
Yeah,
above the comments. Yeah, so make sure you follow through and you check that out. And also, if you appreciate this conversation, like this video, subscribe to this channel so that YouTube know to do the right thing and distribute this amongst more people similar to yourself on a similar wavelength. And most importantly, hit the notifications bell so that you never again miss another one of these podcasts where we dig deep. And with that, this is Amax.
Sasha Chantel.
And Franklin, aka the African warrior, king of trainers.
Hey, peace.
Peace.